Who to you, speaking of which, is the greatest poker player of all time, and why is it Phil Hellmuth?
Exactly. Muth probably knew this question was coming.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I think Hellmuth is the antidote to computers more than any other player playing today. And when you see him in a heads up situation, so I think like he's played 9 or 10 heads up tournaments in a row. And he's played like basically call it 10 of the top 20 people so far. And he's beaten all but one of them. When you're playing heads up, 1v1, that is the most GTO understandable spot, meaning game theory optimal position. That's where computers can give you an enormous edge. The minute you add even a third player, the value of computers and the value of their recommendations basically falls off a cliff, okay? So one way to think about it is Hellmuth is forced to play against people that are essentially trained like AIs. And so to be able to beat, 8 out of 9 of them means that you are playing so orthogonally to what is considered game theory optimal. And you're overlaying human reasoning. The judgment to say, well, in this spot, I should do X, but I'm going to do Y. It's not dissimilar in chess, like what makes, Magnus Carlsen so good. Sometimes he takes these weird lines, he'll sacrifice positions, he'll overplay certain positions or certain, bishops versus knights and all of these spots that are very confusing. And what it does is it throws people off their game. I think he just won a recent online tournament and it's like by move 6, there is no GTO move for his opponent to make because it's like out of the rule book. Maybe he read some game. I read the quote. It was like he probably read some game in some bar in Russia in 1954, memorized it, and all of a sudden, by 6 moves in, the computer AI is worthless. So that's what makes Hellmuth great. There is one person that I think is superior, and I think it's what Daniel also said, and I would echo that because I played Phil as well. But Phil Ivey is the most well-rounded, cold-blooded, bloodthirsty animal. He's just, and he sees into your soul, Lex, in a way where you're just like, oh my God, stop looking at me.
Have you ever played him?
Yeah, we've played, and he crushes the games.